Hello, I'm Floyd, and welcome to Elite Dangerous. This is a game I've been playing just recently because it's less stressful than World of Tanks, and you really need to be able to focus in World of Tanks, and I just haven't been able to. So I've been playing some of this, so I thought I'll figure I'd put up a little bit of what I've learned. Today I figure we'll do Discovery or Exploration. But before we do that, we need to sort out the fire groups, and what I mean by that is we need to attach our scanner to a trigger. So that we can activate it when we're in space. So I'm just going to quickly do that, show you how to do that. It's very easy. Press 4 on your keyboard to get yourself over to, wrong one, over to the fire groups, which is at the top. Quickly go down, find Discovery Scanner, hit space bar for if you want it on trigger 1, then 1. Obviously if you want it on your secondary fire button, then hit it again and it will be number 2. Great thing about the fire groups is you can also have separate ones, so you can switch between. So you have one for discovery, one for defence. They like have the guns, and so on. You can keep going. Mind you, I don't know how many how many you really want, but I find 2 quite manageable, so I'll stick with that. So anyway, let's get on. I think what I will be doing is I won't be doing it in this ship. I'll grab another ship, and then we'll go off and do some discovery. Okay, so we've got our fire group sorted out. It's now time to head out into space and see what we can find. If you're starting this game off from the start and you want to get straight into the discovery, every ship comes with a discovery scanner. It will only do 500 light seconds in range. That's all around your ship in every direction. Not a great deal, so you're going to have to do a little bit of the flying away from the sun as far as you can, and then flying back into it and looking for objects moving in the starfield as you're going through. I've got to tell you, I did hours of that. It really does give you the sense of adventure, searching out the systems, and some of these systems are absolutely enormous, and so a 500 light second radius is not much at all. I mean, the biggest system I've found so far is Alpha Centauri, and if you have the game and you haven't been there yet, I seriously recommend going to Alpha Centauri, plotting a course for the Hutton orbital, and then, well, before you do that, probably go and get yourself a flask of coffee, because I think my best time is 1 hour and 40. If you can beat that, let us know, because that's one hell of a start. I only did it once, and I'll probably never do it again, but yeah, I did it. It was just humongous, the size of these systems. They're not all that big. Well, they probably are that big, but the objects are a lot closer than that particular one. Okay, so jumping into the next system. There's unexplored, waiting for the astronomical object to appear. There we go, we got it. We'll do a quick scare fuel scoop while we're up here. If you look at the bars at the top, one's heat. I think below is efficiency, or maybe that's how much it is put in per second. So we'll get that up into about 130, trying to keep the heat around 100, no higher than that if we can. Raise her up a little bit. Let that fill. And then we'll have a quick look at the map, see what we've got. So we've got 2 stations, and there's 2 suns, and there's probably going to be planets or astronomical objects anyway around the star we're at. I'm not sure about the other one, but when we ping we'll find out. Okay, let's target the sun, and what we can do, we're not going to sit here and scan it. I know you can do that, but too often I've come a cropper with interdiction, so we're going to move away from the sun and then ping it. We won't go too far away, but far enough so if we get interdicted, hopefully we won't both of us drop out into the sun. That can be very problematic. You'll be struggling with the heat of the sun, so you've got to get away from that, and you've got a ship firing at you as well. It's not a great mix, so after it's happened once, I tend to move away and do it for a little bit, give myself a little bit of a chance. So we're going to get far enough away from the sun, we'll spin her around and get it scanned, and then we'll ping the system and see what it is that we found. Always keeping close attention to what we've got on the scanner. I've got a few objects on there at the minute. We'll target what we can and see what comes back from them. Hopefully that will scan in fairly quickly if it can. Don't want to be hanging around still for too long. There we go. Right, now we'll ping the area. Okay, 40 objects. Oh, that's a lot. I'd imagine a lot of that's asteroids. So, yeah, there's asteroids in there as well. Okay, so yeah, we have got stuff orbiting the other star as well, so probably have to make our way over there. But that looks like not a bad find. We'll go work our way through and scan all that. I'm not sure whether I'll do the asteroids. We'll see how aggressive some of the ships are in the system. In fact, play close attention to not the GUI. Look past the GUI. You'll see the blue light moving up the screen, and it appears to turn towards us. And here it comes. I've just noticed him, and powering away, trying to get away from that. Now he may be just passing, and again he may have other interests in mind. We're not taking any chances. Yeah, he's interdicted. Now, at the time, I must admit, because I was fairly busy, he was quite a fighter, this one. I actually thought it was a player. I wasn't 100% sure, but looking at the radar there, it is an NPC. The easiest way to tell is the NPCs are solid, and commanders or played ships are hollow. So it's actually an AI this time. Didn't know that at the time. He puts up one hell of a fight, and I don't think I've had one quite like that off an AI before. They're normally fairly easy to get away from. I don't believe I've got anything in the hold, so mind you, he wouldn't know anyway until he stopped me. He can't scan me until I'm in normal space. Right, I've evaded that. So let's move back to our target so we can get that one scanned in. Now what we won't do is we're not going to go through and show you scanning every planet, because it's all relatively the same. We'll talk about a little bit about the prices shortly. So a little bit later on, same system. And our friend returns for another bite of the cherry. I'm guessing it's him because, once again, this was one hell of a... I mean, that last one was a fight, but this one, he just didn't want to let it go. And again, I thought it was a player, but yeah, no, he's solid. So it's definitely... If you look right in the middle, you got all the planets and that like whirling around, but there's one constant right in the centre, and that's the ship, which is directly on my tail, who's got me in the tether. And yeah, see, we're about even now. I'm getting it back. At this point, I think, right, I've got him. He's nearly done. Just the last little bit, and then I'm out of it. And then no, come on. He's getting it back. Just quit it, will you? No. Oh, it's just... This is good practice, though, because this is more what you're going to get from a player if he interdicts you. I mean, this must have been an elite AI, because I've never had it like this before. I mean, the one before and then this one, it could well have been the same ship. You do get a delay because he will obviously get dropped into real space, and you have to wait for his cooler, his interdictor, his frameshift drive to cool down, and it takes a lot longer. Yes, he nearly has me there, and I'm getting it back again. But he's got it. It's just such. What I probably could have done at this point was submitted to it. If you submit, your frameshift cools down a lot quicker. So all you've got to do is take a look what's interdicted you, hit the boost to boost away from him, give yourself a bit of a head start. Because if you submit, you drop into real space normally. If you fight it out, then you kind of tumble into real space, so your ship's out of control for a bit. And I got it, but that was one hell of a fight. I've never had one like that before. And if you look now, you can see a white marker on the radar. That's his wake. That's him dropping into real space. So he could well be back up and running fairly shortly. I don't know it was the same one as before, the same ship, but it might have been. He might have really wanted that. But that's all good practice. I mean, to be fair, that doesn't happen a great... Well, it does. Do you know, when you get into a system, you do the missions, and then after a while you become friendly. It happens less often, but it still happens. Even with some of the green ships, if they're wanted, they're going to interdict you. And the way to do that is if you're discovering and there's the odd station, pop in there, refuel, maybe pick up a delivery mission, which will take you maybe into another uncharted system, but it'll also give you kudos with whatever alliance you happen to, say if you're in Empire Space or a Federation. Slowly you will become friendly with those. So that's one way of doing it. Unless you're more of a hardcore adventurer, in which case you just plot a course and just ping every system as you go and check them as you go. Which you're less likely to form an alliance with one of the factions that way. But it's totally up to you. That's the beauty of this. It's pretty much a sandbox. You can play it any way you wish. Personally, I was doing the missions as I was working through, so it was to split the discovery up. Right, so that's nearly the system done. We've still got to do the other star, but I'll do that and then we'll go straight on and see what it is. There's quite a lot there. There's quite a few hours there of scanning. So for our efforts, we ended up with second from the bottom. If you look, 21,162 credits. You're not going to make a lot of money doing discovery. You will find the odd planet, like the Earth type planets. If you scan them on a basic scan, you get about 35,000, something like that. And of course, if you're using a detailed scanner, that will double it to say 70. And if you find like a terraformable planet, that'd be worth about 8,016 if you're using the detailed. I think the detailed generally just doubles the price of everything. And obviously, the more stuff in the system, the more you'll get. With the new patch, when that's released, in fact, it should be released by the time this video's out, you'll get a rundown of what you get for each object in the system, and obviously your total, which could help you decide on which systems you want to bother with as you go through. Obviously, that's only really going to work if you're running the advanced equipment, which is a system-wide scan. Obviously, with the basic, it's a 500 light second, and with the intermediate, it's 1,000 light second radius. Which, if you bear in mind that some objects orbiting the sun can be anything like 10,000 light seconds away, and possibly a little further than that. And if there's a neighbouring sun, that can be anything from, say, 50,000 light years to, I don't know, 450,000 light years. So even with an intermediate discovery scanner, you're going to have to go out and do a bit of manual searching. The price tags on some of this stuff, so if you want the detailed surface scanner, that's 250,000. It's 500,000 for the intermediate discovery scanner, and for the advanced discovery scanner, that's 1.5 million. But the great thing, one thing about this game is any modules you put on or take off your ship, if you get back exactly what you put in. So if you pay 250,000 for a detailed scanner, so you want to do a little bit of discovery, and then you want to go back to trading, so you want to take that off and put a cargo rack back on, you'll get the 250,000 you put into this, you bought the scanner for, they will give back to you, and obviously you can use that to buy the next bit of equipment. So chopping your ship around for whatever it is you want to do at the time is rather easy. You just need the money to buy it in the first place, but then you'll get it back. Be aware though that your insurance cost will go up. You have to pay 5% of your insurance. So if your ship gets blown up, you pay 5% of the cost. That includes the modules you put on. So if you put expensive modules on, your cost is going to go up a little bit. But you can check that out by looking at your menu on the right hand side of your ship. So if discovery is the thing that you want to do the most, then I would recommend getting yourself at least to the Adder, ideally a Cobra, and ultimately the Asp. Now the Sidewinder and the Eagle are decent little ships, and you can do the discovery in them, but you're limited because of the size of their internal compartments. They haven't quite got enough to put everything you need on, but they're okay for short range if you're sticking, so you can quickly jump back to the station and refuel, on account that you're not going to be able to fit the 3 basic pieces of equipment I think you need for discovery, which is obviously the discovery scanner itself, the detailed surface scanner, and a fuel scoop. Whereas you can get all of those bits of equipment on the Adder, the Cobra, and the Asp. The Adder has obviously got the cheapest price tag, so you can fit that out and start off relatively soon. Plus you can switch it out and do a little bit of hauling in for a bit of extra money as well. Obviously you can also do that in the Cobra and the Asp, obviously they're bigger price tags. The Cobra is very well equipped for it, and in fact the Adder, not the Adder, the Cobra and the Asp are fairly similar ships. They don't do anything necessarily any one thing brilliantly, but they seem to do anything you set it up for, they seem to do reasonably well. So we just have a quick fuel scoop to try and reduce our fuel bill. We're going to land at I think it's the next system, we're going to land in there and find the fruits of our labours and see what it is, and then maybe plot a course for the next section, a sector that I wish to discover or go and explore anyway. So we've got the frameshift 5 charging. I've noticed there's a ship coming in from the rear, and he's interdicted us, and right at the wrong time, because our heat levels are already very high. They're gonna dumped us into real space. We overheated, so we'll hit the boost as soon as we can, target the ship and see what it is that that we've got. So there goes the boost. Target the ship. It's a Cobra. Let's target him. It's a Cobra with no shields. Oh, you silly boy. So we're going to turn round. We're not having none of that. We can't frame shift drive at the minute. We've got to wait for that to cool down. So while we're waiting, we may as well have a little bit of fun with our unshielded Cobra. Not a wise thing to do with an Asp. That's got a fair decent bit of firepower on it. We've got two beam lasers on the top, and there they are. That would normally be for cutting through the shields and getting rid of them. And then obviously once the shields are down, you unleash the cannons. And there's 4 of them. They're not massively powered, but there's 4 of them. That's what you got to remember. Is the Asps have a fair bit of firepower. They can defend themselves if necessary, and they are fairly manoeuvrable. They're quite a big bulk, but you can manoeuvre. The Cobra isn't the most manoeuvrable ship as it is. Generally, when I fly that, I tend to you do it in strafes. So you fly past, strafe them, shoot, get the hell out, turn around and do it again. Whereas, like I say, if you're in the Viper, then you can dogfight it out. Yeah. I think he may be reconsidering his options. Yeah, we can keep up with him. We're just as manoeuvrable as a Cobra. They are not dogfighting machines. Like I say, generally you have to strafe with them. They're very fast. They can have decent ammo. But they tend to carry the same weapon complement as a Viper. So he's definitely outgunned. I've got 2 more cannons than he's liable to have. And yeah, unleash those. They are gimbaled cannons, by the way, because with the beam lasers, obviously, because they fire at the speed of light, you don't have to give any... you don't have to lead the target, you just aim straight at it. But obviously with the cannons you do, so I've put gimbaled on so that it will do that on its own. It will lead the target for me. Otherwise it becomes you having to choose which one are you firing. You're firing the lasers, which is a direct fire, or obviously the cannons, which you have to lead. And he's chickened out. So a little bit annoying. I didn't get to finish him off, but he may think twice about doing that again to a bigger ship with no shields, for Christ's sake. Why would you go at someone with no shields? It just doesn't make any sense. So anyway, this has been Elite Dangerous. I hope you've enjoyed the video and maybe got something out of it, if something maybe you didn't know, or maybe even maybe gave you a nod into maybe looking at the game and thinking, do you know what, I could do some of that. And obviously, Discovery is just a small aspect of the game. It's very much a sandbox. You can pretty much do whatever it is you want to do. You want to be a bounty hunter, you want to be a pirate, you want to be a smuggler. Pretty much, it's all in there. If you want to do trade runs, which will possibly maybe be the next video I do. I'll do one on the rare trade routes for anyone starting out. That's not a bad way of it. Exploring the systems, and you'll make a fair bit of credits along the way as well. So until the next time, and thanks for watching.